ago, I climbed the incline in Manitou Springs. How many of you have climbed it? Okay, quite a few. It was a hot, beautiful summer Saturday. There were lots of people there. I was wearing shorts and a tank top because it was hot out, so people could see my prosthetic leg. I was just hiking up at a slow, steady pace, doing my thing. Lots of people would say hi or good morning as I passed them or they passed me, and I'd return their greetings. But a surprising number of people would come up to me and say that I was courageous or an inspiration. One man even claimed that I was his hero. Seemed a little excessive. I don't know this guy. For all he knows, I could be an axe murderer. I'm not an axe murderer or any other kind of murder, just for your peace of mind. The biggest thing I've ever killed was my pet fish, Froshy. Froshy had suicidal tendencies. He jumped out of his bowl, and I crushed him with a phone book. Since I didn't bring any weapons or phone books here today, you should all feel very safe. But back to the man who said that I was his hero. I didn't know how to respond, so I thanked him and forced a smile. When in doubt, a smile and nod usually works. But even the people who claimed that I was inspirational seemed a little bit misguided. But it's not just that day. There have been other days in my life when people notice that I'm disabled and take the time out of their day to congratulate me on being courageous for doing such activities as waking up and getting out of the bed and leaving the house in the morning. To me, doing things like leaving the house, riding a bike, or climbing the incline, those are regular activities. Lots of you have done all of those things, I'm sure. And doing them on one leg doesn't make them special. They're still just normal daily activities. Having a prosthetic leg definitely doesn't make me a hero. I didn't lose my leg defending my country or saving a baby from a burning building. Although I have made up tons of great stories about how I lost my leg. As a teenager, I was a camp counselor, and it was used as a way to enforce the rules. Things like, no running on the pool deck. That's how Melanie lost her leg. Make cool people? Yeah?
Can we get you in a commercial?
Also, when I go through the airport, I set off the metal detector every time. And I get one of those up-close and personal pat-downs from a female officer. And often she will be curious and she'll ask me how I lost my leg. And I am so tempted to say that I tried to bring a bomb on an airplane. I don't want to get arrested or put on the do not fly list, so I never actually said that though. One of my favorite stories is that I had a Siamese twin in the womb named Kathleen. And I ate all of Kathleen except for her leg. And that's why it's backwards. For those of you who are here for my last speech will recall that the real story is a lot more boring. I was simply born with my disability. That seems so lame in comparison. But everything I've done my entire life, I've done it all on one leg. So doing it on one leg seems normal to me. In fact, I've never wished for a second leg. That second leg kind of seems unnecessary. I'm not sure what I'd do if I had it. Sorry. Most people don't worry about the size of their feet. They simply buy shoes the appropriate size and wear them. Similarly, I don't worry about the size of my right leg. Getting a prosthetic is a little bit more complicated than buying a pair of shoes, but it's kind of the same thing. A prosthetic is like a big shoe. In fact, that's the analogy I use when I'm talking to small children. I tell them that my prosthetic leg makes it easier to walk, that it's not painful, but I like to take it off at the end of the day, that I don't wear my prosthetic leg when I go to sleep, or when I shower, or when I jump in a swimming pool. And one of kids' favorite questions is, can you feel this? And again, it's like touching the sole of your shoe. If you touch it lightly, you can't feel it. But if you tap it, you can feel the vibrations. Kids are curious, and I understand that. I can't tell you how many times I've heard something like, Mommy, Mommy, what happened to her foot? And I would love to answer those questions, but usually I don't get a chance because Mommy grabs Junior's hand and drags Junior away saying, shh, that's rude. Meanwhile, Junior's staring at me with this confused expression. Really, these mothers aren't any different than the man who claimed that I was his hero. They are making assumptions about me. They are trying to picture walking a mile in my shoes, and they picture these horrible, painful shoes, and what a terrible, traumatic thing it would be to have to walk in those shoes. But the reality is that I like my shoes just fine. I don't want pity or admiration or special treatment for my disability. I'm the same as anybody else. When I climb the incline, I will exuberantly climb that steep uphill mile in my own shoes. Thank you.